Welcome back, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Neighbors to Know. I'm your host, Jen Pula. I wanted to share really quick with you before I introduce our dynamic host, well, maybe he'll be a host someday, but guest today. On Saturday of this past week, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you will have seen this story or heard this story. I ran into two people that kind of were the ones who helped make this show start. Ann Siemens was my first guest on episode 1. And I started the show basically with the idea of, I had a conversation with Ann. She didn't know her neighbor from 2 doors down, and I didn't understand why that was. She'd been there for 30-some years. Her neighbor lived there for almost 20 years, and they didn't know each other. And that was when my mind started going as to starting this whole idea. So what was really cool about Saturday, and I had to mention this today, was I went to this event on Saturday in Bedford, and Ann was there because she invited me, and this other neighbor was there too, and they saw each other, and I introduced them, and they shook hands, and it was just this amazing moment for me, because I'm like, this is why this is here, this is why I'm here, and it was such a defining moment. So I don't know if you're as excited as I am, but it was a super exciting moment as to what the whole mission is here of connecting people. So today's guest, we connected through a course that we're taking through Landmark, and he inspired me so much by the work that he's doing with this project that he's taken on that I had to have him come on and share his experience with you. So I'd like to introduce you to our neighbor, David Scott. Hi, David.
Hey, Jen. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're happy to be here. So we haven't known each other super long. You're not in Bedford. You're in Brighton?
Yes.
Right?
Brighton.
So welcome to Bedford. Had you been here before?
First time here. It seems like a nice place.
It's a nice place to be. So we met at the Landmark, the last of the Landmark classes, well, not last, but the third in the series. And I sat next to you by complete happenstance. You know, everyone has to sit next to someone, and you were sharing with me your idea for your project. And so those of you that don't know, Landmark offers different classes, and the class that David and I are in focuses on community projects, which is kind of where this came from, more just ideas that were coming to me in my head. But I sat next to you, and you shared your idea for your project with me, and I just stopped and didn't hear anything else, and you completely inspired me by what you said. And you touched a chord with me, and that's why I wanted to have you on here and kind of share with everybody, not just the person next to you, what your project is all about. There's a larger story behind it, obviously, but just focusing on the project for now, what is this that you would like to change with your community that you're working on right now?
Yeah, so thank you, Jen. And so my project is Bonding at Birth, and what I want to do is connect with people. I was born with a cleft lip and palate, and I'm 25, and I never really talked about it until last year, 2018. And I had a friend, I knew him since high school, Tim, actually, and we know each other for 11 years. And I never talked to him about this. And to be honest, I honestly pretended like it wasn't a part of me. Even though I would have surgeries, I pretended like it was something I would hide away, as if in the closet, but it was always there, and it had an impact on me, but I never talked about it. Because I never talked about it.
Why didn't you talk about it?
I'll be honest, I didn't know how to. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to pretend like it wasn't there. And to be honest, the gaps between the surgeries, it wasn't there, but it would always come back, and I couldn't appreciate the impact that it had on my life, and really what it allowed me to create, because it was like I was hiding a part of myself. And what I've come to realize is that there's nothing more real than sharing it, and by sharing it, I've been able to connect with people I'd never been able to connect with before. So my friend Tim, for instance, I called him up one day, and we talked about it. And he said that, we always knew about it, but we never talked about it. And I've known him for 11 years. I would say he's one of my best friends in terms of time and also connection. And we had never talked about it.
So what was his reaction when you talked about it? Was it what you expected him how to respond, or?
We had a conversation. I mean, it wasn't like he didn't know. It's just that we never even talked about it. He never really understood the impact that it had on me.
Well, and I mean, for me, I guess it came up in conversation because if you're bonded at birth, you know, of course that leads to, you know, what makes you bonded at birth? What's bringing this together? And the subject comes up of, you know, us talking about your cleft palate, and then that was kind of the door for me to be, you know, vulnerable, and I'm sure it probably made you more vulnerable to open up to ask about it. I mean, I'm 47, and I just learned, whatever, you know, 2 weeks ago, what it really means for, at least for you, what it looks like for someone to experience that. I had a boss who, like 20 some years ago, who had a cleft palate, but I never talked to her about it. I was close with her and stuff, but I just noticed it and, you know, left it at that. And it was funny, this morning on my drive into here, because I was trying to think back to other people I might have known. There was a girl that I went to high school with that had one too. I wasn't close with her. She frightened me, actually. So, yeah, we went in different circles. But I certainly wouldn't have felt comfortable bringing it up with her because I wouldn't want to upset her in some way. You know, you're not quite sure how the other person's going to respond to it. But I felt very open talking to you about it. So, and I want people to know, because I'm sure there's other people, like you said, that they don't know how to approach it. So, I mean, since we have, you know, a forum here of how to get the word about, not the word out, but how to get education out, can you explain, like, what is a cleft palate?
So cleft and palate is I would say it's a birth condition. It's the way you were born. Basically, when you're in the womb, your body closes around the midline. And so basically my palate and lip didn't close. I could put my fist in my mouth when I was a kid, and I've had numerous surgeries, and my palate is actually still open.
How many surgeries have you had?
24.
24.
Give or take. My mom has a whole list.
Was that like evenly spread through time, or was it like a lot when you were younger?
So basically, it really depends. So I had a lot when I was younger. Like the first few surgeries, they did the most. And I'll share this with you. I'm making a music video, and I really wanted to inspire people. And so I two of the women that I'm working with, we talked about how could I really represent like what I've been through, and so we decided it'd be great to share some pictures. And so I reached out to my mother and I asked her if I could get my hands on some of the pictures, and she gave me a number of pictures, but she showed me one picture that was from my eyes only, and she'd never shown it to me. And it was a picture from when I was like 3 days old. And it was the most original picture I've ever seen of myself. And
did she say why she hadn't shown it to you for so long?
I'm not sure. She just said it was private.
Yeah.
It was private. Only my dad and her were privy to it. And she shared it with me, and she said, private question mark.
Because she wasn't sure if it should be private anymore.
Well, not only that, but I think she wanted to keep it private. But
Yeah.
she didn't know what I wanted. Because she cares what I want too, you know. But I said, Mom, private. And this is private. And I was just, I couldn't believe that this picture I'd never seen in my life. And just because I was sharing with her, I got to see it. And if anything, like, what I'm really present to is after all this, like, I want to make that kid proud, you know? And
you're doing that right now, you know.
I know, he's just so full of life, always smiling. And sometimes I think you get lost along the way, what really matters. And so that's why I'm doing this project, because I want to connect with people who have been through what I've been through. And I had the opportunity to speak with a woman that I know. And I didn't know how to talk about it. Like we were talking about, I didn't know how to talk about it. So one day I realized all I had to do was share.
Or have someone who's like, I'm like, hey, just ask the question, which wasn't easy for me to do, because I didn't know how
Yeah.
much it would affect you. I mean, I figured if there was a time for me to learn about it, it was then. And I had been afraid to ask other people, and I didn't want to have to be afraid to ask again, because like the last show that we did was about primarily about mental illness, and that's for the most part, not the most part, but often you don't know that about someone unless you start talking to them or you see their mannerisms. Someone with a cleft palate, it's literally it's your face and it's what you see. And one thing that's really makes me admire you is the whole singing part, which you'll have to stay tuned for because he is going to sing for us. Because when you're singing, people are looking. Oh, we play guitar too, right? So people could be looking at your hands, but they're looking at your face too, and they're looking at your mouth to hear what you're saying. And it's funny because not haha funny, but you had brought a tear to my eye when I first listened to some of your songs. I went on YouTube and listened to your songs and listened to the lyrics, which I usually don't do. I'm usually about more, the beat behind all of it. But there were some really powerful one-liner lyrics in your songs, and we'll obviously hear what they are. But going back to the bonded at birth, so what are you looking at for, I know you want to share this with other people that have cleft palates. What does that look like for you? Like, people your age or families.
So,
what are you thinking?
Going back on what I was saying before is there's a woman in my life who I thought she had a cleft palate, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know how to even have the conversation.
Yeah.
But I knew I could share my story, and that's what I did. And then we talked a little bit about it, but last week we talked more, and never in my life have I been able to talk with somebody like that. The thing is, everybody has a different experience. Everybody, regardless of how you're born, the life, environment, family conditions, has a different experience. But I got to see her experience, and I got to see how some things that I'd never been able to talk about with anybody, she understood because she had been born with the cleft palate too. And I never had the chance to talk to anybody that way.
So what was that like for you?
It felt so freeing. I felt so lighthearted afterwards. Just someone that could understand. And the thing is, with bonding at birth, what I really want to do is connect with people, just like her and other people I know who are born with cleft palate, just to share their stories, see how it impacted them, because everybody has a different impact. And then I want to work with them to create an event for kids who are born with cleft palate, so that they can meet people who have been through everything, and they're out in the world, and then they can see what could be possible one day, and then the kids can meet other kids, and really just an opportunity to really see what's possible.
Did you find support when you were a kid? Like, what was stuff like in school for you, with your peers, and when you were growing up?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my mom and dad told me that we went to a group. We went to
like a support group kind of
yes,
thing?
thank you.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was really for the parents, based on what they told me, and but after that, there's really nothing. All through high school and middle school, and I don't know, I feel like until I really chose my cleft palate,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to really be myself, because it doesn't define who I am, but at the same time, it made me, like, through all that, I was able to create myself as somebody who could really empathize with anybody, because I might not know what you're going through, but I know what pain is, and I know what it's like to keep doing something, and it still doesn't complete. Like I said, my palate is still open. I had 2 surgeries in the last couple of years, and they were both unsuccessful. And I was tired of, people telling me that there was something wrong with me. So I got a prosthetic device, and I'm living life, and we'll see what happens. I could go back and have another surgery, but right now I'm happy where I am.
And you're sharing that through your music.
I am.
I feel like I'm keeping the audience at bay because there's a whole other side to you.
There is. And the music, I'll tell you this, the music was always my way to express myself. Mm-hmm. When I was playing my music, I remember high school specifically, I remember I played Freebird. And after that,
You just went out.
I met everybody. In school, and I never felt different when I played my music. I used to be a lot less clear than I am now, but when I sung, it was never, you can never hear I wouldn't say a speech impediment, but my voice sounded like my voice, it wasn't different. And that's why I love singing, and so the song I'll be playing today is called Can't You See?
I was hoping for that one. I mean, not that your other songs aren't fantastic too, but that one really struck a chord for me. And so we're gonna break off and kind of switch gears here so that you can play, because I don't want to give any. I want everyone to have their own experience with hearing you and listening for the lyrics too, because the lyrics are so strong. So we'll come back and talk a little bit more with David after that. But we're gonna get you all set and hear Can't You See and ride with it from there. So hold on just a second. We're gonna go get changed.
I've been running from my past, but it keeps on holding me back, wearing me down like a ball in a chain, thinking the same things are gonna keep happening again. Wondering if I'm ever gonna meet my best friend. As I was watching the sunrise, I was thinking about her, asking myself, why do I do this? But I don't have to do it anymore. And I want to think about you, baby. Can't you feel it lately? There's a change in the world. I've been living like this far too long. The barriers in my mind, I can't carry them through time. Gotta knock them down, right here, right now. Looking in the mirror, seeing a little boy there. Scar on his face, I can't let that define me. As I was watching the sunrise, I was thinking about her, asking myself, why do I do this? But I don't have to do it anymore. I wanna think about you, baby. Can't you feel it lately? There's a change in the world. I've been living like this far too long. Can't you see? There is no hole in me. Can't you see? There is no hole in me. Running from my past keeps on pulling me back. Can't you 'cause can't you see there is no home in me?
So we're back. I'm still very moved by that song. I could hear it 5 times and still be very moved by that song. You mentioned in the song about running from your past and it not holding you back, or it keeps holding you back. What is it holding you back from? I mean, even now, I mean, it seems like you've found other people, you've been more open, and granted it was recently, but do you still find that there's things that it's holding you back from doing? Sorry, did I hit a chord there?
No, you didn't paint a chord. It's just the first time I've been on TV, so it's weird seeing myself on the screen.
Oh,
But,
interesting.
yeah,
You
it's,
can look. No, right now, seriously, own it, because there you are.
Yeah. So, honestly,
Look down. No, I want to take a minute for this, seriously.
What?
No, I want you to look.
look at the TV.
Yeah, because you're on TV right now. And like,
Oh, man.
it's a moment, and you do live performances. I'm going to totally forget what my question was, but
It's
you do.
okay, I remember it.
You do live performances and you're putting yourself out there, and it's huge because you said you wanted to be like a role model for other people, so that they can have what you didn't have. And you're being open by talking about it now. So like, you got to like just own this. You're doing this, and like
Yeah.
not most, I don't know enough about it, but a lot of people are just afraid to say and afraid to do, and you're taking action. So like, seriously, I want you to like, get the camera off me for a second and like see yourself there, and you're here and you're talking about your music and you're talking about your past, and this is about you, and just think of all the people that, your bonded at birth could end up being this international thing, who knows? That was kind of a what?
For me, it's all about people. It's all about connecting with people. That's what I do, and that's what my music is all about. I used to write songs that were about ideas, about people I haven't met yet, and but then I met some people, and they inspired me to write songs that were real, songs that meant something to me, and that I saw could inspire other people. And every song, I'm making an EP, and every song in that EP is real. And I don't even know the 4th song yet, but
they're not all the same either, because like I heard
They're
this
not.
one, I'm like, okay, I'm emotionally ready to hear the second one. But then it went to like into this whole love ballad thing, and that was a whole other story. So it's not just that. I mean, that's a powerful way to start things with Can't You See. So there's 4 songs that you're planning on doing with your EP.
Yeah. So Can't You See? And then you asked me, am I running from my past? And really, when I wrote this song, I was. I had never really been able to go for what I wanted. I always felt like I wasn't good enough. And the song is kind of a declaration. Like, can't you see, can't you see? There is no hole in me.
That's what hit me, that line there.
And that's what the song's all about. And it's a declaration. And then the next song is You're Beautiful. And it was inspired by a beautiful person I met along the way. And at that time, it bothered me the way I saw her treat herself. And it wasn't like I planned to write the song, it just happened. I really like that song. And then Drive is a song that all about, a lot of times the environment that we're in can affect us.
Totally, yeah.
And that song is all about saying, hey, and let's just get in the car, let's go for a drive. Don't know where we're going, but I just want you to see what I see. And
Isn't that what it's all about when you're connecting with people anyway? I mean, I take aimless drives all the time. Like, oh, where does this road go to?
Exactly.
Not so much since I've had kids, because that's kind of irresponsible.
Yeah, just
but when
a
I
little
was
bit.
younger, I would just be, where does this road go to? And just start driving. And then all of a sudden, I grew up on Long Island.
Yes.
So one time I drove and I actually ended up on the other tip of Long Island. And there was literally no place else to go. So I had to turn around and go back.
Yeah.
But, to see things from your eyes, because people don't know unless,
Yeah.
unless you ask or unless you share like you're doing now.
One thing I really learned through this whole like EP is that you can tell anybody anything. You can tell them they're beautiful. You can tell them they're powerful. But only they can choose to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's just words. And that's what I realized.
I'm going to throw this hardcore one at you.
Okay.
Do you think that you're beautiful?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I really realized. The reason that so many times I write these songs is because of the way I've seen myself before. So yes,
Yay!
I think I'm beautiful. I
Why?
think everybody's beautiful.
What makes you beautiful?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't like to talk about myself.
Well, tough. You're on TV right now, so.
I think what makes me beautiful is the fact that I care about other people, and I want to inspire people to see the best in themselves and others, and the beauty they might not always see. And I think that's something to be proud about. And my music that I write, I never feel more alive than when I'm playing music, and I'm always so amazed when the song just is created.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, how did I create this song? I just started playing and put some words to it, and it's this beautiful song, and really makes you wonder about things. And yeah, I am beautiful, and it's important that I treat myself like that.
Yeah.
It's important that everybody treats himself like that.
Can I have some fun for a second?
Sure, let's have some
All right,
fun.
go look at the TV in the long shot and look at yourself and tell yourself that you're beautiful. I'm only messing with him this much because I know that,
you're
so,
great.
I mean, we're doing this landmark course together, which is pretty intensive,
No.
but it's very opening.
No, it's true. How could I tell anybody else that they're beautiful if I couldn't tell it to myself?
Right,
I'd be a hypocrite.
right.
So I will. Yeah, let's do this. Hey, David. You're beautiful, man. Go play some guitar. Have fun. Live a little bit. That's enough.
This is why you inspire me. Because, no matter what it is, if people were as open as you are, not just about your palate, about whatever, and not be afraid. And I mean, I was there too. When I was younger, I was afraid to say something. I was afraid to ask questions. But finally, pushing 50, and now I can understand from you a little bit better about what it means to live with this. And if I can support you in any way, shape, or form with your whole, project, and I would love to be there. I will bring a camera with me to this event that you have when it happens for Bonded at Birth. Cool. Just to see what all this has come with for you. So I'll share some links on, after the show is done with your, for your music. You're on SoundCloud, which is pretty cool. I had to download the app just to hear your stuff.
SoundCloud, YouTube, just created a Facebook page. But I do want to touch on one thing real quick.
Yeah.
You used the word afraid, and to be honest, I want to touch on that because I don't think people are necessarily afraid. When I look back at myself, I didn't even know it was something I should be talking about. I didn't even know if it was something I wanted to be talking about. I wouldn't say I was ever afraid for my surgeries. I used to put on a smile and a laugh, and I know that was just a guise, but I wouldn't say I was afraid. I just didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know that it would be good for me to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that it'd be freeing for me to talk about it. Somebody told me that, maybe it went different. But everybody has a different experience. And so really what I want to do is just connect with people and really hear their story and really understand the community, community of people who grew up with the cleft lip and palate. And life is crazy without any of that. But the thing that I believe in more than anything else is that there's more that connects us than keeps us apart. So everybody in life has something going on. And so I've got a lot going on, and one of them is the fact that I was born with a cleft lip and palate. But it doesn't make it any more or less than anyone else's problems. And so, for me, it's all about bringing people together, and that's what my music all about.
I feel like you could just do the mic drop right there.
I could, but I don't have a mic.
You do. You could just like unclip
Unclip
they're
it
on the floor.
Just throw it down on the floor.
I can't thank you enough. I mean, I'm honored that I can talk to you on Wednesdays and Saturdays about more about this project. But if you want to get more information about David and his songs, do you want to mention them real quick? What your website is or how to contact you?
Yeah, David Scott Music 6 is my email address and my Facebook website. I'm on SoundCloud, David Franciosi Scott. I'm really excited about this music video I'm making. I think it's going to be really powerful and inspiring to people. And I'm really excited about this EP. I'm finally in a place where I can share myself and my music unreservedly. And honestly, I'm just having a lot of fun. Like, I'm really happy that Jen invited me on the show and making the music video, recording my songs. Just a lot of fun.
You were in Worcester's Got Talent. That's not just for nothing,
That was a long time ago.
But still.
But I had a lot of fun then too. But to be honest, it was only in the past year that I really finally believed in myself. And it was actually, what was I doing? I think it was when I was recording Can't You See in my friend's home studio. Because as a musician, you always, at least me personally, I'm always like down myself at times. But I was recording the Can't You See, and the second chorus, I added a harmony that I never have been able to actually hear, because I have the bass layer of me singing, like you heard earlier, and then a harmony on top of that. And I've sung along to it, but I never heard it. And then I heard it. I said, David, what was the date? I don't know. Was it maybe the 11th? I said, I'm not going to, like, this is the day I believe in myself. I never stop. And I couldn't even play. I would play guitar like once every 6 months. But I had to have people that support me. And then the one time no one could go, I was like, I committed to playing tonight. I committed to playing Can't You See and my song You. And so I went up there and I played both those songs. And after that, I made a commitment that I would play anytime, anywhere, if someone asked me to. So.
Putting yourself out there.
Putting myself out there.
Well, thanks so much, David, for coming on today. And I'm sure that you affected quite a few people just from us talking. This was probably the most emotional interview that I've done. Because both of us are just like on the verge, But it's such a deep experience, and it's, you said so many points to really bring things home. So I really want to thank you for, the rock. Almost forgot.
Oh.
So I made your rock. There's a Kindness Rocks project, which it says courage.
Courage.
And that's for you.
Oh, wow.
Don't throw it at me when you're done, because I made you stare at the camera.
I got a cool rock.
Because it's the Kindness Rocks project.
Courage.
Which there's one in Bedford. There might be one in Brighton, too.
And you get to choose what I put on here?
I chose that because that's what I thought about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
The Kindness Rocks project was an episode that we had, I think it was like episode 3 or 4. And as my guests come on, I'm like, there's one word that stands out about those guests, and what's that word? And for you, it was courage. I certainly would never get up there and I do this, but I don't sing. I don't play, well, at least I don't think so. But I think that's, who you stand for, and, I think that this project is going to be really big for you, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. So, again, I'll put links up so that you guys can all follow David's music, and you can find out more information about Bonded at Birth for those of you that are interested in learning more about that. So, I guess Dave left a lot of one-liners there that it's hard to, sum it up, because he kind of already did. But, I really hope that you guys were touched from this episode like I am right now. And, you're right. It's not about being afraid. It's about being open and asking questions. And it's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's wonderful to share. Because like you said, I think, people have more in common than they don't. And I didn't make that up. That's all from you, and I'm going to steal that line because that's a great way to define us as a community, to tie us all together. So thank you all for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
This is my new song, Drive. Come on over here, darling. Let's get you out of your head. Why you putting yourself down again? We are what we create. So this ain't another sad song. It's a song to make you smile. So come on over here now. Let's leave the past in yesterday. I don't know where we're going. Jump in the car and we'll drive. I think you could use a little time away from your life. You don't have to open up to me. I hope that you do. Let's do something you've never done that you want to do. What do you want to do? Come on over here, darling. There's a seat right next to me. Why you standing so far away? You don't need to be. Girl, I feel what you're going through. I've got enough scars to hold up to, but I can't just sit back and watch you go by. No, not this time. So come on over here now. Jump in the car and we'll drive. I think you can use a little time away from your life. You don't have to open up to me. I hope that you do. The only thing I want is for you to see yourself new. I want you to see what I see. I want you to see what I see. So come on over here now. Jump in the car and we'll drive. I think you can use a little time away from your life. You don't have to open up to me. I hope that you do. The only thing I want is for you to see yourself new. To see yourself new. I want you to see what I see. I want you to see